Hi, it's Monday, October the 20th, and I continue to read and wonder. No, I'm not continuing. I'm starting something new. What am I saying? Yeah, it's Monday, October the 20th, and I am starting the book of Isaiah for the first time. So we're starting in chapter 1, verses 1 to 9. I felt it was time to do something different. And when I say do something different, I mean we finished off Matthew at the end of last week, but we haven't been in the Hebrew Scriptures for a little while. And I have to say, I don't think I have ever read Isaiah from beginning to end just as one. I don't. In fact, I'm quite sure I've never done that and wondered about it as I went. I know I've never done that, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. I mean, it is a book of poetic images. It's like opera. It's ground. It's grand and it's sweeping and it's also quite harsh and critical and clever and it's all sorts of things. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. It is a story of falling out of relationship with God, breaking of covenants. It is about divine judgment, and it's also about the restoration of relationship and hope. So I think that it's always a timely book. We'll be doing this for a while. It's a lengthy book. Some people, well, does divide into three parts. And the parts are different enough that there are those who feel very strongly that there are three Isaiahs at work here. Isaiah 1, 2, and 3 are not the same people. But then there is a cohesiveness, an overarching, there's an arc to the whole of the book, which makes others say, no, no, this is the same author. Um, I don't know that it matters, at least not to me. So it matters to historians, I suppose, and good on them. I appreciate that. But for our purposes, I'm just going to wander through it. I'm not really going to worry about who's Isaiah 1, 2, or 3. At least I don't think I am. Maybe a couple weeks from now, I'm going, oh, you know what? This is so Isaiah 2. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, for now, let's. I should also give you just a little bit of context. I mean, I go, oh, I know the context. So I hope you know, I hope you appreciate that the kingdom divided into two parts after Solomon. So about 200 years before this, before Isaiah, the kingdom divided into two. So there's the northern kingdom, which is Israel, and the lower kingdom, which is Judah. The lower kingdom is where Jerusalem is. And during the time of Isaiah's writing, during the time of Isaiah, the northern kingdom will fall. Israel will fall to the Assyrians, and there'll be mass deportations and all sorts of stuff. And the writing wisdom of the time was that Israel's falling was a warning from God, a warning to Judah about being faithful. Now, truth is, 150 years later, Judah would also fall. The southern kingdom would fall. But anyway, that's sort of the context that's kind of worth knowing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you need to know. And Isaiah is in the southern kingdom, so aware of what goes on in the northern kingdom, but is himself in the southern kingdom, is in Judah. So there we go. Let's see what happens. It's Isaiah 1 1 to 9. The vision of Isaiah, son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and listen, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I reared children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows its owner, and the donkey its master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand. Woe, sinful nation, people laden with iniquity, offspring who do evil, children who act corruptly, who have forsaken the Lord, who have despised the Holy One of Israel. Why do you seek further beatings? Why do you continue to rebel? The whole head is injured, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot to the head, there is no soundness in it, only bruises and sores and bleeding wounds. They have not been drained or bound up or softened with oil. Your country lies desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. In your very presence, aliens devour your land. It is desolate, as overthrown by foreigners. And daughter Zion is left like a booth in a vineyard, like a shelter in a cucumber field, like a besieged city. If the Lord of hosts had not left us a few survivors, we would have been like Sodom and become like Gomorrah. And there you go. What a start. I mentioned that the destruction of Israel is seen as a warning to Judah. Kind of see that here, don't you? Um, I guess first up, just shout out to the writer. I really love these images. The daughter Zion is left like a booth in a vineyard, like a shelter in a cucumber field, like a besieged city. These are places that thrive, right? A vineyard thrives, and the booth is there, but you get this image of this booth, and that's all that's left. Sign that the things were once good, but they aren't anymore. Or a shelter in a cucumber field. Again, this I just picture this lone. Yeah, you ever drive through a rural area? Well, in Ontario, that's what I'm most familiar with. But any kind of rural area, and you see the remnant of a barn or a shed that isn't used anymore. It just sort of sits there. That's what I'm picturing. The booth in the vineyard, the shelter in a cucumber field, a besieged city. Just you see the shell is left. It's a sad, sad sight, and it's your country lies desolate. Your cities are burned with fire, and your very presence aliens devour your land. It is sad. This is what has happened. Now, why has this happened? Um, Hear, O heavens, and listen, O earth, for the Lord has spoken, the prophet says. And this is then the prophet is speaking for the Lord. These are the Lord's words. I reared children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. So the people have rebelled against the one who raised them, who loves them. The ox knows its owner, and the donkey its master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand. The ox knows who owns it, the donkey knows where it belongs, but Israel doesn't know that anymore. Israel have lost their connection to God. The people have lost their connection to God. They don't understand anymore. They have taken God's attention for granted. They have taken their lives for granted. And I mean, this is the lament of a parent. I mean, I hear it all the time. I was such a good, I did my best to be a good mother. I tried so hard to be a good father. But do they ever call? No. Do they ever see me? No. Do they care anymore? I don't think they care anymore. I did my best, but they just seem to have turned their back on me. Um, there are times that as parents, we look at some of the things some of the things that our kids might do, and they run entirely counter to our values. And we lament the fact that they no longer share our values. And sometimes they don't share our values because our values are outdated and they weren't good. And sometimes they 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 no longer adhere to our values because they've made bad choices. But whatever it is, the parent still feels the same. It's just like you've left me, um, and you take all that I have offered you for granted. You think that it doesn't matter that you don't hold true to these values anymore. You think that these things that I fought for, I tried so hard to share with you, to give to you, you don't even care. You don't even think about it. Uh, I hear parents who do that thing. I mean, there's lots of reasons, and I trust me, I'm not picking sides on this one, but I know kids who have gone to sort of like university and done nothing with the education. In fact, they haven't even really attended classes. They just took that as a couple 3 years of just doing whatever they wanted to do and not having to take any responsibility until they were thrown into university. And their parents are like, "How could they do this? We worked so hard to get them this and that," and they just throw it all away. That's what I hear in this. I mean, that's a lot less dramatic, obviously, than what we're getting here. But I reared children up and brought them up, and they've rebelled against me. Um, yeah, that's so. So then the next question for me as I go to this is, what is it they have done? What is it that they have done? And I hear from people all the time things like, you don't use the proper name for Jesus. You should be calling him Yeshua. And if you don't call him that, it's disrespectful. And you're a horrible Christian if you keep saying the name Jesus. That matters. Uh, People saying, we have to have the Lord's Prayer in schools, be saying this way. People say we've got to have the Ten Commandments, we have to be able to recite them. People say we have to, we don't go to church on Sundays nearly enough. We're not doing the things we used to do. That was Sunday shopping. That was the end of faith, and that's what's going on. Um, allowing for boys to marry boys. Oh my God, how could you possibly do that? This is what's happened. This is what it is, and yet what I hear, and this is, woe, sinful nation, people laden with iniquity, offspring who do evil, children who act corruptly, who have forsaken the Lord. Corruption is when you're basically not doing what God asks of you. Corruption is when you are greedy and taking for yourself. Corruption is when you're not sticking with with the theme here. You're doing your own way. Uh, Iniquity is when you're not treating people fairly. The sinful nation seemed to me to be a community, a nation of people who are in it only for themselves. That's what the corruption is. Corruption is when I do these things for myself, for my benefit, or for the benefit of somebody who's paying me. So again, that is for my benefit. I twist the system for them because I am gaining. So when we game the system for ourselves, that's corruption. Laden with iniquity, we are not treating each other as siblings, as children of God, all of us together. What is it? We're not. It's not that we're not going to church enough. It's not that we're not reciting the Lord's prayer. That's not what it is. It's that we're not treating each other with respect and love. It's that we are selfishly motivated, trading off whatever we have for our own benefit, for our own glory, our own power, our own wealth. That's how we forsake the Lord. That's how we despise the Holy One of Israel. That's the falling out. It's not that we're no longer adhering to the rituals. It's that we are not living aware of God. We are not living in a harmony with God. And what happens? The whole head is injured, the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot to the head, there's no soundness in it, only bruises and sores and bleeding wounds. They have not been drained or bound up or softened with oil. It means they haven't been taken care of. You fall out of relationship with God, and you know what? It hurts. It doesn't say that God's done this. I mean, why do you seek further beatings? You go, oh, it's God who's beating them? It's a bully who hears that. It's a bully who says, "Until we get along, I'm going to keep beating you." But that's not God. God's not a bully. Why do you seek further beatings? Why do you let this keep happening to yourself? Right? God's not beating the northern kingdom. God's not beating the people of Israel. No, no, no. The Assyrians are. And they're able to do that because the people of the northern kingdom, the people of Israel, have fallen out of relationship with God. They don't know who they are anymore, and they're so corrupt and so self motivated. Guess what? They can't mount a proper defense against Assyria. They can't work together because somebody's always trying to hedge their bets and make a little bit off of this, making sure that if all things go badly, I'll still be okay, instead of everybody being part of this. Trying to figure, how do I profit from this difficult time? And when we do that, everything hurts. The whole head is injured, the whole heart faint. I love that. I mean, the whole head is injured, meaning all of my thoughts are now scattered. None of my thoughts are pure. None of my thoughts are clear anymore. I gotta always, when I'm corrupt, I'm busy worrying about this lie and that lie. And wait, what did I tell them? Because I've got to make sure I got that covered. Because if they find out, then I'm not gonna. So I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. Okay, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what I want to do? It's like I just, when I fall in a relation with God, when I'm in it for myself, I my whole head is injured and my whole heart faint. I also lose my enthusiasm for it. It's really hard for me, and maybe I'm unique in this, but I don't think so. It's really hard for me to get a kind of zeal going for a selfish thing. I can get involved in something that's important to me, to others, and I can get so excited about it, so committed to it, and I will go through almost anything to see it through, whether that's a march here or work there or extra time spent doing this, reaching out and connecting with people here, spending time in difficult situations. All of those things I can do that for for God's agenda. But for mine, nah. No, most of the efforts I make for me selfishly are half-hearted because I'm a little bit ashamed that I'm doing it just for me. Um, and yeah, but oh boy, when God asks me to do something, there's something going and there's justice involved, I can get motivated for that. So yeah, when I become corrupt and self-motivated, when I can become selfish, my head is injured, my whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot to the head, there's no soundness in it. Only bruises and sores and bleeding wounds that have not been drained or bound up or softened with oil. Yeah, there's no. I just begin to fall apart. And you know what? When I fall apart, the thing that I can count on to help put me back together, to comfort me, to strengthen me, to heal me, is God. But when I am out of sync with God, when I break my covenant with God, when I am now motivated by selfishness, not by God's agenda, well, then everything starts to fall apart, and I don't even know how to ask God to help me because I'm out of sync with God now. And so there's nobody to bind my wounds, right? They're not drained or bound up or softened with oil. At least that's how I'm reading this. It's very poetic, it's very dramatic. But for me, that's what Isaiah is saying. Isaiah is looking at the northern kingdom that's all fallen apart, and just going, yeah, it's yeah, of course it has. They became selfish and self-motivated, and they fell out of relationship with God. Their covenant with God, they broke it. To 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 treat people with love and respect, you know, for iniquity, and to not be corrupt, but to be committed to God's agenda, not selfishness. Um, they've given all that up. They've forgotten what a gift their life is, what a gift from God that is. They've disconnected themselves from that, and yes, everything has gone badly for them. Of course, it has. And they don't even know how to ask God for help because what's gone badly because they've basically disconnected themselves from God. But not everybody, right? If the Lord of hosts had not left us a few survivors, we would have been like Sodom and become like Gomorrah. Some folks read that and then they want to get into the whole sinfulness of Sodom and Gomorrah. And again, there's a whole discussion about exactly what is it that leads to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And most scholars will tell you, and I will tell you, it's about lack of hospitality. It's not about some kind of sexual immorality. But in this situation, I don't think it has to do with that at all. It's the fact that they were wiped out, that they were gone. Lord of hosts have not left us a few survivors, then Israel would be gone completely. But it's not. It's been destroyed, but not utterly destroyed. People are being deported. The Assyrians are there. It's not over. There is a faithful remnant, right? That's what I gather from this, and I'm pretty sure we're going to pick that up as we go a little further. Um, and what does that have to do with us? Depends on your perspective. I think there's lots of us sitting around looking and saying, yeah, we are in the midst of desolation and wondering how did we get here? And they'll say, well, it's because we fell out of relation with God. And I was going, yeah, yeah, but we mean totally different things. We fell out of relation with God. We forgot that we are a Christian nation or we are this. And others going, no, we fell out of relation with God because we stopped treating each other with compassion. We stopped caring about the stranger. We stopped loving our neighbor. And this is what's resulted. Both have an argument to make. And both look around seeing what they feel is proof to their argument. Everything that's happening right now is because we have fallen away from our Christian values. And we're no longer a Christian country. So everything's just falling apart. And the others saying, no, no, things are falling apart and we're all moving in the wrong direction. And we know it, but that's because we've fallen away from the values of Jesus. We stopped loving our neighbor. really loving our neighbor, and we became selfishly motivated. They look around and they see the evidence there. Both sides see the same thing. Both sides would read this passage from Isaiah and find vindication. I believe that's true anyway. Um, and then I'm invited to look at that and wonder, what is it saying to me? What is it saying to me? Um, am I one of the survivors? If the Lord of hosts had not left us a few survivors, we would have been like Sodom and become like Gomorrah. Am I one of the survivors? And if so, what does that mean? Maybe we'll discover that as we go further. Um, anyway, I'm going to leave it there right now. Offer you a prayer, and we will carry on. So let us pray. Loving God, thank you. Thank you for a new book, a new journey, a new prophetic vision. As we dare to wonder what that vision might mean to us in this day and age, in our contexts, let us keep our hearts open to your word as it emerges in the silence of our wonder or in the conversations that we have. And God, as we hear your word, may we be drawn to your word and may we grow in faith because of your word. We pray in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit. Amen. Well, that's enough for me today, but I do look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until I get to see you, well, God bless you. And please know that God sees you, knows you, and loves you. Whether you're feeling like a remnant or whether you're feeling devastated, whether you're feeling faithful or whether you're feeling confused, God sees you, knows you, and loves you exactly as you are right now. And God's love does come to you. It doesn't just sit with you, though, it grows within you and it moves with you wherever you go. You share God's love, and that matters. So thank you for sharing God's love. Thank you for being you. We'll see you tomorrow.